That was BBD. I thought it was me. It isn't. It's America. Breaking news, another mass shooting, this time in Louisville, Kentucky. Why don't we stop using the phrase breaking news? Because is it really breaking news when there's another mass shooting in America? And while the actions of the heroic actions of the law enforcement officers was very speedy, let's stop pretending it's because law enforcement has learned to deal with mass shootings. There's more of a chance the response was probably that fast because it happened at a bank. And when banks get robbed, cops get there within minutes. You don't have to believe me. Check the statistics. They arrive faster at banks and other businesses than they do at homes. So it is not encouraging that a sign of encouragement that they've reacted to mass shooting faster. You have a mass shooting at a bank. The law enforcement is already keyed into that situation. They get there fast. It doesn't negate their braveness, but your bravery. But let's not pretend like the reason that they got there fast is because they're learning. It happened at a bank. Now, it's very funny about these things. Kentucky passed a law. Of course, you have almost unfettered access to guns, right? They passed a law that not only do they have unfettered access to the gun, that you can go pick a gun up with no training, no background check, you can walk around with it. But they also passed a law that's on Governor Beshear's desk where the state representative can't cooperate with some federal jurisdictions in terms of gun laws. They won't let them cooperate. It's against the law to cooperate. Now, of course, in Tennessee, the Tennessee Three stood up because they were tired of seeing kids get slaughtered. And what happened? Two of them, of course, were removed from their positions. And the white one, it's not her fault at all that she wasn't removed. She happens to be a 60-year-old white woman, and that just tends not to happen. One is going to be the one in Davidson County, the one in Nashville. He's going to be reinstated today. The Memphis representative, we don't know what's going to happen there because they've threatened that county. They've said, you know what? If you reinstate this official, we are going to deny you access or to funding. We're going to not fund $350 million for the FedEx Arena. They are using what they always, the same thing they did to those men, those black representatives, they're doing to a predominantly black county. Let us stop pretending like we give a damn about pretenses anymore. The Republican leadership there, they have a supermajority, and they're going to treat those men and those places like niggas. Let's not pretend like it's any different. They're the reason that they got expelled and the other ones didn't because they were black and she wasn't. The reason that they're not issuing the same kind of threat to the county in Nashville out there in Memphis because they're black and that's what they can do. They have decided you can live in Nashville, you can move there, you can move to Tennessee. All these people can come all these places, but we're still going to control everything. We have a supermajority and we will do what we want. And that means, can you imagine anywhere in this country, well, besides the southern region of this country, or predominantly places where they have state legislatures, where they would summarily dismiss the votes of thousands of people? Tens of thousands of people, you would just say you can't have a representative. It's interesting that they expelled members of their caucus for being loud on a bullhorn. They all did the same things. Two were expelled and one wasn't. They all did the exact same thing, but she wasn't expelled and they were. Can you imagine that if they did that to the insurrectionists at 9/11? So they kicked people out. They expelled them from that body for having a bullhorn. You had active members who are in Congress now who were participating in the insurrection, the overthrow of the government of the United States, and now those men and women sit on their chairs of committees. So be consistent. If you're going to expel people who are disruptive, why is it that you will disrupt somebody that uses a bullhorn but not a noose? They went up there and said, hang Mike Pence. And rather than expel them and punish them, they have a choir sing while the presidential nominee, the Republican nominee of the United States, goes to Waco. A choir made out of insurrectionists who have been arrested and tried. We are inconsistent. But here's an opportunity for you to do what those young men did. If you are in Memphis right now, a resident of that district, do what they did. Speak loud. Say that you demand your counsel, instate them just like the one in Nashville did. They risked for you. Why not risk for them? They weren't marching for themselves. They were marching for your children. They decided that they had enough. And they're young. And biblically, a child shall lead them, and they are. But you shouldn't leave them out there by themselves. Tennessee has decided the South will rise again. He's hoping that hope will. When you live, you right now are accepting the fact that your elected representative are more moved by the screams of the protesters than the screams of the children being slaughtered. You can decide what they do. That is your elected representative. You can decide to send them back. And are they going to be petty or are they not? But you can hold their hands to their feet to the fire. You decide what happens. You have the right to have an elected official that represents you. And you have the right to tell them that your vote counts. So do what they're doing in Davidson County and Nashville. Make sure that that representative is not left out there by himself. He's fighting for your children. He's doing what you sent him to do. Make sure you let him know you have his back. It is crazy when you're more motivated by the screams of the protesters than you are the children. Don't tell me God is anywhere in that. There's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.